Hey, everybody, welcome to episode 219 of Is This Thing Working? How's it going, Denise?
It is awesome. Hi, everybody. We are here today on this Monday of Is This Thing Working? And we have 18 days left before an election. 18 days. And we need every one of you to be informed and become engaged because, folks, we have a list, and I mean a list of things that we need to remind you of that the left and the progressives
And the media.
and everybody has just purely taken out of the news. You know, don't forget that you were mandated to take vaccines, that you are mandated to take a vaccine or lose your job, your loss of freedom, your loss of travel.
Do you remember in 21 when they told you couldn't go to church? Do you remember in 21 how they told you couldn't walk into a store unless you were 6 feet apart from somebody? Remember how in Michigan they told you couldn't go to your second home? They took away your freedom of moving about as a free man and woman.
And they took away education.
Yes, they did.
From our children.
Yes, they did.
They put masks.
They hurt our children,
on our children.
Man. The taking away of education for that long. And you offered them online stuff. And how many of those kids were at home without a parent because a parent was at work? Or how, you know what I mean?
How many people missed work?
How effective was it? It wasn't effective.
Not effective.
Yeah, the numbers shown that it wasn't. And it hurt our kids. You hurt our children, man.
Yes.
This administration
so don't forget
did.
this.
Yeah, please,
and
people, don't forget this kind of stuff.
Don't forget the horrible things the other horrible things that's going on, like Afghanistan. The people that, were killed over there at Abbey Gate. Don't forget the natural disasters that
the response
to these natural disasters that they have just totally buried the news and buried these people and just forgot them.
Yeah.
Maui.
And people, we're talking about the government. We're not talking about the other people, the good people, the citizens of the country that stepped up as response teams. We're talking about the where our tax money goes.
The response.
Those people.
Our government's response.
The
money that we pay them to put aside for these things.
What did they do with it?
What did they do with it? Well, we know what they did with it.
What are they doing the focus with? They're focusing on helping the migrants, the DEI, the LGBTQ.
Anything they're America last.
Exactly.
Folks, they are America last.
But anyway, that was kind of a dark way to start the show today.
Hope is on the ballot.
Right.
We need hope. And these people in North Carolina need hope.
They need help.
They do. I mean,
President Trump was there today too, and we watched that press conference. It was pretty good. It was nice, and even one of the people stood up there and even prayed for him and with him. For all the people that are there, they need more than our prayers. They need our help. And
yes, because we need hope. We really do. And that's the one thing that one of the people that got up there and was talking said is that's what we need. You bring us hope. We hope that when you get elected that you will help us then.
Exactly.
Because they're not doing it now.
Because they've wasted our money.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is no money for it.
And they've stolen our money and they've laundered our money.
And mountains have fallen down on people.
Yeah.
And I understand what can you do about that? Nothing you can do about that. But you can get some people out there to help the ones that are and find the loved ones.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yep.
And then FEMA needs to do something. And then the crime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't forget about the crime.
Yeah. How the FBI underreported everything.
Yes.
What did we know? What did we see today that the FBI violent crime was up 10.4% and what was the other?
Property crime.
Property crime.
This is since 2019 was up 6.4%.
Yeah.
And they lied when President Trump was in the debate with Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
They fact checked
him. They fact checked him and lied in the fact check.
And lied. And so this is what they do. But before we go any further, folks, we would appreciate it if you would show our sponsors a little love and support them.
Hey, are you ready to learn guitar, but you're not sure where to start? With Simply Guitar, you'll be playing your favorite songs in no time, right from your phone or tablet. Simply Guitar makes learning easy and fun, even if you've never picked up a guitar before. Their step-by-step lessons will walk you through everything from your basic chords to your favorite songs. And here's the best part. Simply Guitar listens to your playing and gives you real-time feedback, helping you improve as you go. Whether you want to jam solo, impress friends, or just explore your musical side, Simply Guitar is perfect for beginners and pros alike. With an ever-growing library of songs and tutorials, you'll be always find something new to learn. So are you ready to get started? Download Simply Guitar today from the App Store or Google Play and start playing the music that you love.
Please click that link below. And thank you for supporting our sponsors. They help keep the show free.
And also, we want to state, these are our opinions and they're our assertions. And if you like our opinions and our assertions, man, you make sure you go to our Facebook, our X pages, you go to all our social media pages, you like our show, and you share our show with each and everybody that you know. And hey, if you don't like our show, go ahead and like it and share it anyway.
That's right. And if you have a difference of opinion, we don't mind debating. There's nothing wrong
I
with
don't mind listening
debating
to a
and
good
listening
other side.
to other sides.
Yep.
We really don't. Please leave that in the comment, and we will read your comment on the show. Also, download the podcast on Apple or Spotify or any platform that you listen to this podcast on. Also, download the Rumble app, please. And guess what? You can follow us and get notifications when we go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we're going to be doing special shows on Tuesday and Thursday and during the weekend to remind you of other shows that we've talked about that are still relevant. So be looking for those.
Yes.
I'm real excited. We've been working on this for a little while. That's kind of why
These are kind of
the last 18 days we're pushing. We're pushing for you to get out the vote.
Yep.
And one of the first things we're going to talk about today is just the man that helps us.
Yep. Steve Bannon.
Steve Bannon, who will be out of jail in 8 days. And there's a call to action always, every single day. Get out the vote.
Yep.
Get out the vote. Today is early voting here in Texas, which we're going to talk about that.
Take your family, take your friends, take your neighbors. Everybody get out and vote.
That's right. Because hope is on the ballot. And we need you. We need everyone. Vote early if you can.
And there are elections that are already beginning. I think Arizona, Georgia, there's a couple more.
I think almost everybody has started early voting.
Did Texas
started today. Texas started today. But before we get on to Texas here, I want to play a video of Captain Bannon, which is Steve Bannon's daughter, Maureen.
Yep.
And with a new message from him.
Yeah.
As of today.
Some information, as to his early release.
Yes.
That is a big thing we've been talking about was, wondering why he could never get an early release. Here's why. Listen.
Date straight from Danbury, Maureen Bannon joins us now. Maureen, what is the latest with your dad? We know he should be here with us right now, but the Biden-Harris administration is illegally still holding him.
Correct, and thank you for having me on, Jane. As we all know, and as I stated Saturday, my dad is eligible for early release under the First Step Act, which means that he should be out now. He submitted a document on August 29th, 2024, which was over 75 days ago, requesting early release. Now, you need over 30 days left in order for home confinement to be set up according to the Bureau of Prisons, and they waited until Friday to notify him that he was eligible under the First Step Act for early release to home confinement. So it's very clear to myself and many people in the War Room Posse that their timing of this is no accident. They are deliberately stalling his release in order to prevent such a key voice in the MAGA movement from being behind the mic and out there and able to help secure an election for Donald J. Trump on November 5th. And as you see in that B-roll at the bottom, it says, according, your client will be released on his full term release date of August 29th, 2024. They're saying that there is not enough time left in his sentence to set up home confinement. This is blatantly, they're playing games. The Bureau of Prison and the Biden-Harris regime are playing games. They submitted the documentation in enough time, more than 30 days out from the end of his sentence, in order for early release to home confinement to be set up. The Bureau of Prisons had this documentation for over 75 days, and they wait until under 30 days and use their regulation that states that they don't have enough time in order to keep him in prison until his originally set release date. Once again,
wow, bless her heart. She is so upset.
Yes, and she should be, because it is a game. Think about this. That sounds exactly the same way that it sounded when he went to prison. Because if you remember, our Congress was supposed to help do what they could to keep him from having to go to prison to start with.
Oh, they waited until he was in prison before they even started talking about trying to get him out,
and
then did
way.
nothing.
Yeah,
absolutely
that's the same
nothing.
thing.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
that they would keep someone in prison just because they don't like
just because they can.
Just because they can, and because they don't like the fact that he is head of a movement that puts them in the light.
Yeah.
That shows everything they do is wrong. What they're doing is wrong to the American people. The American people have called and called and called and told you, no, we don't want this. And they don't like that. They don't like that, War Room and Steve Bannon steps up and that the people are finally, looking at you. We see you now because of Steve Bannon, and that's why, folks, like we say, today is early voting, and we need you out there. It starts today, and you need to vote for.
In Texas,
here in Texas,
it starts today.
It starts today. And Ted Cruz, and of course Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Pete Sessions. I did look at the ballot.
Vote time decision.
Vote time. I put on here on my X. I said it's hilarious. A vote time decision.
Right.
But really, I went to Ballotpedia, and folks, if you're not for sure who is on the ballot, you really need to go and research. Yeah. Research who they are, and so that you can know who you're voting for. Because believe me, they will put some Republicans here.
They have a sample ballot.
Yes. They have a sample ballot
on Ballotpedia.
The election on November 5th, and all you have to do is put in your address, and your ballot comes up for your address. And it tells the president, but everyone knows the presidents and all that. So what is really important? It lists everybody else that's running for the U.S. Senate.
Yep, like in Texas for the U.S. Senate, you got Ted Cruz, Republican, and Colin Allred on the Democrat side, and Ted Brown. Tracy Andrus is an independent.
Yeah, there's 2 write-ins.
And Elisa Roche is an independent. Then they got District 17.
Which is Pete Sessions, is who I'm talking about. And I'm going to have to either vote for him or vote for the Democrat.
No, you're not.
Or I'm not going to vote for either one.
You hold your nose and you vote for the Republican Party.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. And then we have, he's such a rhino, and no one will run against him.
I should run against him.
You really should.
Yeah.
I think you would win. Because.
Interesting.
That is very interesting. It's something to think about. Texas Railroad Commission here in Texas, Christy Craddock. She's the incumbent. Make sure you vote for her, which if you're a Republican, just vote down ballot. Yes. But the most important people that you need to be paying attention to, besides the president and besides Ted Cruz, because we need the Senate and J.D. Vance, is the judges we have pushed, folks. We have pushed these judges, Gina Parker, Lee Finley, and David Schenck.
Yes.
And these are the judges that you need to vote for on November 5th or early. Just go vote early and get it over with and vote for these Republican judges. We need these judges because these are the judges that are going to help save Texas's elections.
Yep. And these are also judges that are not going to weaponize the system against its citizens like the Democrat Party and the Harris-Biden administration has done.
Yes. So make sure you go on Ballotpedia and put in your address and get your ballot. And you look through every one of them.
Look through
and
them.
Just check them out.
Yeah.
You
and
know,
be informed.
And look them up.
Be informed when you walk in the voting booth and be engaged.
Pretty exciting. It's that time. We've been waiting on it. We've been talking about it. We've been pushing. We've been a force multiplier, and we have called you to action every single time. So we're on the home stretch, folks. We have to get President Trump elected. There's many ways out there. We have talked to you about it over and over again. But
one of the things that we need to talk about that hasn't been talked about a lot in the news, it has, but it hasn't, is the Secret Service's failure to protect President Trump back on July 13th. And so Brianna Morello done some reporting on this, and she talked to and interviewed Representative Tim Burchett, and she put a tweet on X today, and it said, Secret Service failed to secure President Donald Trump. So why aren't we demanding criminal charges to be filed against the Secret Service higher-ups that failed to secure the president? She said, I asked Congressman Tim Burchett on OAN today. And Burchett went on there, and she asked him, and instead of him being real, being blunt, being honest, he comes on there, and he basically, which I don't disagree with his opinion on this, but he comes on there and he gives a 60-second plug for Dan Bongino as head of the Secret Service coming up. You know.
Yeah, why would he do that, I wonder?
Well, it was just, it
was kind of weird.
It was just kind of him deflecting is basically what he was doing for just a few seconds to get your mind wandering somewhere else about this instead of just answering the question. Because him, like each and every one of us, know that somebody needs to be held accountable for that. And think about this. I mean, if it was me, you know what I mean? I would expect to have been fired at least. I would have expected to have been some criminal charges brought up over negligence. You know what I mean? Because if nothing else, these guys were negligent.
Yes, if nothing else, fired.
The entire thing, yes. If nothing else, fired. Heads ought to be rolling, man. Not just Kim Cheadle's.
That it was planned, then those people need to be held
criminally
accountable.
charged. So yeah, and I just we could play a little bit of this, a couple seconds of the audio, I guess.
Yes, here, listen to Burchett, and we really like him, but he really didn't.
Yeah, it was disappointing, man, to me.
You said it's infuriating, but a lot of these federal agencies, they tend to ask for more money when there's failures like this, blaming financial burdens, when in fact it's just incompetency at best. I don't want to totally write off the situation. But sir, I'm a little concerned because we're just calling for reforms. They're also calling for those in the private sector to come in and take over with the Secret Service because there's just so many issues there. But that's not enough. I don't think it goes far enough. And I want to hear your take on this. But I'm a little infuriated that we're not calling for criminal charges against the individuals that decided not to secure the president, those who decided not to secure the rooftop. There were so many missteps here. Why are we not talking about criminal charges?
I think because we know that the ridiculous nature of our Justice Department, they won't enforce anything. So it's just like our border. You talk to a border agent and they'll say, just let me enforce the border. Just let me enforce the laws that are on the books already. Our Justice Department is inept at that level. They'd have to point the finger at themselves so many times. And I agree. It's going to take somebody from the outside coming in, and possibly somebody who's had that experience in the past. I know he's on podcasts and all, but Dan Bongino, former Secret Service agent, former presidential detail, he was involved in recruiting Secret Service agents. He knows what it takes. Somebody like that with those credentials that could come in with no financial gain.
Do you see? Do you see what I mean? What
now
did
he's
he do?
pushing Bongino. She didn't even ask that question.
No, and he blamed the judicial system. While the judicial system is corrupt, and we know they're corrupt, and he's probably right. They'd probably try to laugh it off. But you know what you do? You still bring the charges, man.
Yes, you
still
do
bring the
something.
charges. You have to, and you have to scream at those judges to make them listen.
You do. And one of the reasons that this needs to be taken care of is because if it doesn't, it's going to happen again and
Well,
again
yeah.
and again, and it's going to get worse and worse because you haven't fixed the problem. You haven't been transparent to the American people that you've fixed the problem.
That's exactly right.
You know, I mean, just for example, this weekend, President Trump, he goes to McDonald's. You know, he is. You know, out there trolling Kamala Harris, everybody. We know that's what he's doing.
Yep, that's exactly what that was.
So,
It was hilarious.
You know, it was actually, it was really funny.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what President Trump is. He's funny, and he went out there, and of course it's staged. But you know why it has to be staged? Why he can't just walk into a
Sure, because
McDonald's?
it's not safe in
Because it
America.
is not safe.
It's not safe. Politically, it's not safe for him, man. And I get that. I understand that. You know.
Yes, I do too. That's why I took it as all in fun. But like we said, President Trump, he puts on an apron and works the fry machine at McDonald's in Philadelphia. He now has more experience working at McDonald's than Kamala Harris. I'm getting this from Charlie Kirk. And we have a little piece of a video that we're
video of him walking in.
Him walking in, yes.
Yeah, this is pretty funny.
We're going to break in now because the former president, Donald Trump, has made his way here in Pennsylvania to a fryer at McDonald's. He's going to get back there and sling some French fries. Let's go ahead and listen in to who he's chatting with.
Hello, everybody. Indy is here. This is Indy. She has an apron for you.
And good job on the first day.
I think I should take off. Should I take off my jacket? I think so. The press wants to see this. Oh, you. Here's a wealthy guy. He owns a lot of McDonald's. That's great. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, he's putting his apron on. It's hilarious.
And Mr. Trump, what's your favorite thing to order at McDonald's?
I like it all. I like it.
He ain't lying. He
Outside of everything.
He
But I do
does.
like the French fries while I'll be working. I listened to Kamala. She said it was so hot. It was so hot. It was such a tough job. But then you have a man that's been doing it for many years with the French fries, right?
We're going to learn everything.
We're going to see. I'm going to learn how to do it right now. Thank you.
Welcome here.
Yeah, and then he heads to the fryers. He heads to work. And it's great. He done that. He worked the fry machine for a little bit. He stepped back here and put fries up, man.
Yes, and he stood and handed it through the drive-through while people drove up and walked up. And a lot of people showed up, hundreds of people showed up outside the perimeter to watch.
Big,
it was like a little
crowd.
rally.
Like always
like
with him,
he always does. He
Yeah.
brings a following wherever he goes.
Yeah, he does, man.
You know, and he has a good time, and the people have a good time with him. And that's what it's all about. Yes, it was a troll.
Yeah.
And yes, the libs went berserk because he was on everyone's lips all weekend.
Yeah.
Not Kamala
he
Harris.
was. Look, Richard Gunnell, 51 former intelligence officials say Kamala worked at McDonald's. Bernie Sanders says, yesterday Donald Trump did 15 minutes of work at McDonald's where tens of thousands of employees earn starvation wages. But when asked whether we need to raise the $7.25 minimum wage, he refused to comment. I will comment. We need to raise the federal minimum wage to $17 an hour.
Oh my gosh. You know what I find very crazy about that is no one makes $7.25.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah, not even the migrants say it. Not even the
Not
illegals.
even the illegals.
Yeah, say it. Yep, because it's
Yes,
true.
they do not make that. No
Yep.
one makes that amount of money.
Yeah.
And working at McDonald's, you make more than that. You know, so that's ridiculous. Even some states like California, the minimum wage at McDonald's is $20 an hour.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's false. You know, Bernie Sanders can keep on. Yeah, the minimum wage is still $7.25, but no one pays that. No one pays that ever.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the Krasensteins, they come in. Why is X lying? McDonald's has not denied Kamala Harris was once employed there. Talk about election misinformation.
But he
that
doesn't give any relevant
But they did deny it. They did say that. They made a statement and said, no, she's never worked here.
Yeah, but he just comes on here and says, why is X lying? You see, this is misinformation, folks.
Yes.
Because he doesn't post anything showing that Kamala Harris was employed at McDonald's.
Exactly.
He just,
he posts some trending
calls
numbers.
Them liar.
Yeah, post some trending numbers. That's hilarious, though. But yeah, they're all melting down.
Yeah, they're
as
melting
usual.
down.
As
Let's
usual,
see what
man.
else we can find. Trump pretended to work at McDonald's this weekend. Some YouTuber decides he's going to have fun with that. The Philadelphia Inquirer says Trump evasive about raising Pennsylvania minimum wage while pretending to work at McDonald's in Bucks County. I mean, hello.
He said, I think these people work hard. They're great. And I just saw something, a process that's beautiful, Trump said in response to a question about raising the minimum wage. Hey, man, those guys do work hard at those places. I've stood there at the counter and watched them back there, man. Really, they do. They work hard, man.
Trump cannot
in that
raise
environment.
the minimum wage.
No, he can't. No, but still, man. The best one I seen all week.
Yes.
Or the whole weekend was Natalie Winters' take on it, where he's standing there waving and she's saying it's mass deportation.
Yeah.
He's waving.
That is very
That
funny.
was the best one.
Memes were really, really cool, too.
We've seen some really cool ones,
too.
too.
But we all know that conservatives are the ones that make the best memes ever.
But here, this has to be the most hilarious thing, the most hilarious response. But then again, probably the most truthful response, too, is AOC's response to Trump working at McDonald's. Check it out. This is what she said.
Donald Trump putting on a little McDonald's costume because he thinks that's what people do. They're not trying to empathize with us. They are making fun of us. They are making fun of us.
We're making fun of you.
Donald Trump thinks that people who work at McDonald's are a joke.
No, he didn't. He
Elon
never said
Musk
that.
thinks that dangling money in front of a working person is a cute thing to do when the election of our lives is before us. Because that's what people and billionaires like that do.
Oh my gosh.
That's what people and billionaires like that do.
That's what they do.
They're making fun of us.
That's what they did in 2020.
They're making fun of us because they're trying to be little people working at McDonald's. No, he wasn't.
Well,
do you know?
No, you know, J.D. Vance was a bartender.
Yeah.
She didn't mention J.D. Vance making fun of AOC because that's what AOC was, a bartender.
I worked for Temple Inland for about 15 years. Okay, and Temple Inland, when it was first. Southern Pine Lumber, when it was first come up and it became Temple Industries, and it's a building manufacturer. They manufacture 2x4s, 2x6s, any building products, wood building products. They manufactured it. They had plants all over the place, and it was called Temple Industries, and it had their logo was a tumbling T-wheel, and if you've ever seen it, it's green. It's really cool looking, man. But he owned all of that, every bit of it. Arthur Temple was his name. And he would go into the plants and he would work side by side with people. And he did that all the time, you know.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's when they really cared about the people.
That's right. And that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to come in and see what they do, man, and be a part of them. You know what I mean? And show them that, hey, man, I'm leading you. If I'm going to lead you and ask you to do these things, then I'm going to do them myself right along with you. I think that's
exactly
a perfect
the point.
example of leadership.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
You know, and so we're going to take a moment for another sponsor.
If you're looking for organic, full-spectrum CBD products that you can trust, look no further than Cornbread Hemp. Whether you're dealing with stress, sleep troubles, or just want to add some calm to your day, Cornbread Hemp has you covered. Their products are USDA certified organic, made from Kentucky-grown hemp, and contain a full spectrum of cannabinoids, including a legal amount of THC. That means you get the complete benefits of the plant with no synthetic additives or fillers, just pure, high-quality CBD. So from gummies and oils to topicals and capsules, Cornbread Hemp has something for everyone. Plus, all their products are third-party lab tested, so you know you're getting the best of the best. Are you ready to experience the natural benefits of full-spectrum CBD? Head to cornbreadhemp.com and use the code ITTW for 30% off your initial purchase. Remember, www.cornbreadhemp.com.
Please click that link below, and thank you for supporting our sponsors. Man, we're going to talk about a couple of things that have happened over the last couple of days. It's really, really breaking news, and we haven't had a chance to talk about it. Liz Cheney's. Do y'all remember Liz Cheney? You know, she's out there with Kamala today doing this town hall. You know, she's like a pretend Republican, the one that lost real big in Wyoming, if you don't know who she is.
The one that destroyed evidence in the January 6th hearings.
That's exactly right. Well, remember her star witness, Cassidy Hutchinson? Well, she knowingly provided false testimony. Handwriting expert blows up her biggest lie.
Yep.
From the Gateway Pundit.
Yep. Liz Cheney's J6 star witness, Cassidy Hutchinson, gave false testimony according to the Committee on House Administration's Subcommittee on Oversight. The committee hired a handwriting expert to analyze a handwritten note revealing Cassidy Hutchinson lied in transcribed interviews and public testimony before the J6 committee with Cheney's help. It turns out Hutchinson did not write the note. Liz Cheney coached Cassidy Hutchinson and suborned perjury. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of word that is.
Yep. Hutchinson claimed during her sworn testimony that she drafted the note during a conversation with Mark Meadows for Trump on January 6, 2021. White House lawyer Eric Hirschman immediately disputed Hutchinson's testimony, but his rebuttal was hidden by Liz Cheney. Handwriting analysis proves Hutchinson was lying the whole time.
This is where she claimed she drafted this note during a conversation with senior staff for President Trump on January 6, 2021, while rioters were still in the Capitol. And there's a little note with a pad. It says Chief of Staff. Then in, regular writing, it says anyone who entered the Capitol without proper authority should leave.
Yeah.
What does this say? What does this say over here?
It said illegal and then crossed out without proper authority. Yeah, because she wanted to say they entered the Capitol illegally, and she knew they didn't. You know what I mean?
Yes.
She knew in her heart they didn't enter illegally. She knew it. Hutchinson testified under oath that she wrote that note while Meadows dictated to her illegally, and Heisman, one of the president's attorneys, dictated without proper authority, and Hutchinson wrote both, the Oversight Committee said.
What a lie. We knew this was a lie from the beginning.
Hirschman refuted Hutchinson's testimony and has maintained for years that he was the one that wrote the note. The committee said the J6 Select Committee never contacted him to confirm the authorship of that note. So, yeah, it was a whole big scandal anyway, man. And Liz Cheney was right in the middle of it.
Yeah, she's the one that kept it going. And, really, this is just crazy. They took sample writings, and none of it was hers.
Right.
At all. Hirschman puts out a sample.
Just puts out
words.
And the handwriting expert analyzed them and found out it was him, not her. I mean, and you could see a definite difference between the two. She wrote real short and round, and he wrote real definite lines. You know what I mean? Straight lines, definite line letters. Like N's and D's and L's.
Yeah, but it's just one more thing that
just
they
one
do.
more lie, man.
One more lie that they do.
One more scheme. One more.
And is it too late now for people to really, are they done listening to this kind of stuff?
I don't know.
This is one of the things that bugs me a lot of times. Is this coming out later and kind of hidden?
Yes.
Which is why we're talking about it, because this is what they do.
Yeah.
They come out with stories.
They hold it for influence.
Just like they did with Steve Bannon.
Just like they done with him. Exactly, yeah.
One of the main and most important things that happened today really needs to be talked about from the Gateway Pundit, the amazing Jim Hoft.
Yep. The Biden-Harris regime's unthinkable betrayal. The U.S. launches an investigation after intel leaks Israel's potential attacks plans on Iran, man. It is. The Biden-Harris regime found itself embroiled in yet another scandal as the U.S. officials scrambled to investigate the alarming leak of 2 highly classified documents that detail Israel's potential strike plans on Iran. The pundit previously had reported that the leaked documents, now being circulated through Telegram channels linked to Iran, contain details about Israel's military positioning ahead of an expected strike on Iran in response to an October 1st missile barrage. That leak includes intelligence marked as top secret and is shareable only within the Five Eyes intelligence alliance: the U.S., the U.K., Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. And a thing to point out about the Five Eyes, why this is so big, is because they were the ones responsible for the Russia collusion hoax.
That's exactly right.
So here we go.
So if you hear anything from the Five Eyes intelligence agencies, you know, which shouldn't even be one. I'm telling you, folks, this is signal. This is something that you need to pay attention to.
We are infiltrated.
This is another Russia that is going to infiltrate the Trump administration. It's going to be there throughout the whole way.
That's right. And what that shows is we're already infiltrated, and we have been, you know.
I know.
So just remember the Five Eyes, man. Whenever you hear about that, that's the people that created the Russia collusion hoax. Yeah. Well, our government's infiltrated. That's what I was saying a minute ago. Yes. Completely. And he knows it. And he admitted it right there. You know, he admitted it. We're infiltrated, man.
We are. We're infiltrated. So what do you think, folks?
Is this thing working?
Rise up.
Well, hey, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks for listening. And I hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope you've learned some things about what's going on around us in the nation and in your communities. You know, we couldn't do this without your continued support either. We appreciate all of you showing up, taking the time to listen to us today. So please, like I say, make sure to hit the like button, share our show with all your friends. We'll see you next time on Is This Thing Working? And as always, I'm James, and that's my lovely co-host over there,
Denise.
And we'll see you next time.
We're out.